Alright, I'm fully going to admit that this is just going to be a bitch post. I've seen dozens of podcasts, thousands of memes, and lots of discussion about how do we make the trades more appealing to the next generation, to the up-and-comers. What do we do to attract them to the trade? My answer to that is nothing. What are you talking about? If you don't want to make more money, to become, in short order, become the owner of a company, to feel almost on a multiple times a day fulfilled and engaged and of service to your community, then there's nothing else to attract you to this trade. I've said it for years. Everybody wants to be a plumber until they have to be a plumber. And you show up somewhere and it's some disgusting mess. Or you've got a furnace, it's minus 30 out, you're under the gun, it's a stressful situation, and you're trying to troubleshoot whatever the hell's going on in this person's equipment. It is not, there's no other way for me to say this than it's not an easy way of life. It's not. If you're going to be a tradesperson, and a good tradesperson, and you want to run your own show, then you have to sacrifice other things. There's no getting out of it, man. You cannot escape it. You can't. This whole work-life balance bullshit is exactly that. Work-life balance bullshit. It's impossible. All you have to prioritize what is important to you. And that's it. That's how you navigate this. What is important to you? Is your family important to you? Okay, then how do you prioritize, make them a priority and still run your own business? I don't have the answer to that. I did it for almost 18 years. And I don't know how good I was at it, because I couldn't do it anymore. My will and desire to continue down that path ended abruptly, frankly. So, and I'm finally in a place now where, after being a plumber, a ticketed tradesman for 28 years, am finally in a place where I would consider myself having a work-life balance. And so, in order to create anything, it takes time and effort and intuition and intelligence, and the ability to maneuver in and out of the situations that you find yourself in a daily basis, in a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. I'm here to tell you, there is no secret. Anybody that's selling you a secret is lying to you, straight up. They're there for their own profit and gain and to find their own work-life balance. So, there is no other way. I do think that we do the next generation a disservice when we tell them all the wonderful thing the trades provide and shield them from the negativity. Perfect example. Pete, for the first time in his entire life, went to a call at 11:30 at night and didn't leave that site until 9:30 the next morning. He worked all night trying to clear these drains. All night long. The details of that are unimportant, but he learned some lessons about that, about himself, about how plumbing works, about how how your brain works when you're tired, all that stuff. Incredibly important, hard-learned lessons happen in real time and in real life. And I do think that we need to expose the next generation to the harsh realities of trade life. We talk endlessly about safety and risk and, assessing both of those to minimize, the potential of danger. I don't disagree with that, but when does that exercise inhibit our ability to do our jobs? And I think we're there, honestly. I think we've reached maximum safety. That if we make things any more safe, we're going to inhibit our ability to do jobs. You cannot, I'm going to repeat that, you cannot do this job and not expose yourself to risk. You can't. And anybody that tells you you can is lying to you or bitching about something that is a real world reality. And I have never, I don't know anybody in my circles, nobody that's ever worked for me, myself included, has never been seriously injured to the point that we can no longer work in the trade. But I've hurt myself 10,000 times. And it's not because I'm unsafe or doing things that I shouldn't. It's because that's what this trade brings. That's what it offers, is unsafe, risky situations where you have to go into dangerous, risky situations where you are exposing yourself to those, which is part of the reason, frankly, you get paid what you get paid. So I do think it's important that we tell these guys coming in, just like I've said it to forever, every path has a puddle. So no matter what you choose to do, there's going to be things that you don't particularly like about it. And, you get on the internet here and, there's the whole drain cleaning versus plumbing and blah, 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 blah. And those are all fun and well-intentioned and a good time. But because there's so much to do in this plumbing field, that you can pick anyone. You don't have to do drain cleaning if you want. Don't do it. If you hate it, I haven't done new housing since 2008. Why? Because I hate it. I hate every aspect of it. I hate walking into a framed house in November when it's minus 30 out and start marking out holes. I hate it with a passion. Like, I would rather drill a hole in my head. And so I've chosen not to follow that path. That's something that my dad did a lot of, and I hated it. And I suspect there'll be things that my boys hate about what I do or what I have chosen to follow, and change that. It's interesting as I look back at my own career and my dad's career and how very much we were in line until he passed away. And over the course of the next 2 years, I lost or walked away from every single one of his customers, to the point that I currently, to this day, my only customers that were my father's are 2 residentials. That's it. Everybody else has gone elsewhere. Lots of them were, general contractors, rental guys, new home builders, that sort of thing, which I didn't want to participate in. So we went a different way. But to sum up, what I'm trying to say here, if you got an apprentice, then you need to put him in risky situations where at least he thinks he's at risk, so that he can overcome that fear of everything's a danger, and be able to look at something evaluate the risks, decide the best path, and move forward. I think that's what we're missing when we are just touting the praises of the trade. So great, we just need you, just come. Which is true. But I think that when we do that, the casualties, and I don't mean actual casualties, but the people that we lose because we're not transparent about what's expected, we lose them. Because they're like, this job sucks. You're up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're working all day. It's freaking snowing out. There is no such thing as a snow day. There's no such thing as it's minus 45 out. Half the world in Alberta is staying home. Oh, over my 10 minutes. Half the world's staying home. You get to get your ass out of bed and go to work. And work outside in the cold, because that's what's needed. And not everybody can handle that, especially when they're unprepared for those eventualities. Anyway, my thoughts, not yours. Be open and honest about the people that you employ. Put them in those situations where they can start to spread their wings and understand the risks and the dangers of being in the trade, so that they know how to navigate those properly. And by navigate, I don't mean you get to avoid them altogether. You have to and will have to deal with risks and dangers. Full stop. That's what this trade offers. And that's part of the reason, I mean, I've been banting around here, danger pay. Part of the reason that you get paid what you get paid is because there's danger pay. The Amazon Prime van just pulled up to me. If there's any danger in that guy's life, no, there's not. Driving around in a van, I guess he exposes himself to crazy drivers like me, but that's it. If you've been in the trade for any length of time, you understand sort of what is expected of you on a particular job. If you bring on a new guy and just say, you'll make so much money, it's so great, the camaraderie, you learn something new every day, and then he figures out that he's actually putting his own well-being at risk, he's out. So, as always, do better, be better. My thoughts, not yours.